It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see which conference reigns supreme tonight. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Primetime.
Well, the city of Seattle known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild Lumen Field. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
There's Nick Folk ready to put this one in the air. And off we go from Seattle. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading him out, their veteran quarterback.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Sticking with Walker on second down. Well, the stiff arm created some space initially, but he's taken down not long after. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try for the first with Walker, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there and gives him a new set of downs. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second down and 6 now. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing now is Geno. That is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker from 8 yards out. And the Seahawks will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. They gotta love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So now the Titans get their first shot on offense. They'll be led out by a third-round pick back in 2018 out of Oklahoma State. It's Mason Rudolph.
And when Mason Rudolph is on the field, sometimes the scouting reports have to be revised a little bit because often quarterbacks like to throw short to get a rhythm. For Mason Rudolph, he loves the deep fade and he loves the deep post pattern. Anything over the top, those are his favorite shots downfield, and that's what gets him comfortable.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Rudolph. And that's complete to Westbrook Akine. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage. Moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd down and 4. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 70 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
On 3rd down, here's Walker.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Quick throw out to Lockett. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the play.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Toss left side for Walker. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Brought down on the play by Amani Hooker.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And going right back to Walker.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He had a minimal gain on 1st down. Now they stop him for no gain. What do you think, going in a different direction on 3rd down?
Could very well be. I'll guarantee he's asking for the ball 3rd time to try and make up for the first 2. But his QB might very well say, well, my man, maybe next series. Let's try someone else on this play.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 22-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Here's Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Rudolph looking to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Derek Hall drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at the 23. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. To throw is Smith. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Geno now to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Back out now comes Kenneth Walker and the Seattle offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. After the interception, here's Smith. He finds Smith and Jigba. Second and 5. Now Smith. Open man, there's Bobo. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now Geno. And it's caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was Kenneth Walker who finished things off with a touchdown catch.
after the touchdown. Here's Myers to boot it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Titans going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
This one caught by Ridley.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Rudolph.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Now Rudolph. He gets this one to Boyd. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half, and now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
A final shot before the break. Rudolph. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
It was the former comeback player of the year, Geno Smith, who was sharp.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half, It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
To about the 35, second down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Play action. It's Rudolph. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And it's complete right back to Ridley. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down. Rudolph now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Rudolph. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And he will have a Titans first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Rudolph looking to throw it. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Here's Rudolph. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Tyler Boyd, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Nick Folk for the point after. And it's 17-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from Tyler Boyd.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And able to get this out to the 25.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return.
Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They run again with Walker. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
111 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll try the air now with Smith. Got a man, it's Brown. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Now Smith.
Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 33. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
So a good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
This has been a tremendous drive to this point, and this is all you want, playing with a lead in the 4th quarter. If you can keep the ball on the ground, keep the sticks moving, you're going to be in good shape to finish this one off.
Smith now to throw.
This one goes underneath to Walker.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
A shotgun snap for Smith.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
Here's Walker.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive spans 13 plays.
And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Back to throw, Rudolph. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Ernest Jones, the linebacker, with a sack.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
He's going to let it fly. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's Rudolph.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Rudolph off play action. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Titans. Calvin Ridley, 39 yards.
And the Titans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
The Seahawks offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
a 2nd and 6. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will finally be taken down at the Titans' 17-yard line. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Smith down to a knee here, and that should just about do it. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They loved the slide.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Were you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's